We're on to week 9 of the NFL, but we got to talk about week 8, and we're going to do that using power rankings. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we had that nice, beautiful football discourse. We separate these power rankings into 5 different tiers, where at the bottom we have, of course, bottom of the league. The next tier up is could be but unlikely teams that they're bad, but they could maybe play spoiler later in the season. And then this middle tier is playoff contenders, and right above that is playoff teams I'm confident are going to make the playoffs. And of course, the tippy top tier is your actual Super Bowl contenders. Let's go ahead and get this sucker started. We're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to start on a positive note with the Carolina Panthers. They may be 32 in my power rankings, but they won this week. Bryce Young looked fairly good. They got a win over the Houston Texans, who also drafted a quarterback in this past draft class. So it was a good win for Bryce Young and company. If anything, like, the game wasn't necessarily that fun to watch, but the funniest thing happened at the end, where was it Javier Thomas that kept jumping off sides to maybe block the kick, and it was like 3 straight times, and they flagged him for unsportsmanlike conduct. I thought that was kind of funny. Ken McGuanu, though, really struggling in pass protection the last few weeks, so basically this whole season from what it feels like. But yeah, they're here at 32. At 31 for me will be the Arizona Cardinals. It sounds like it doesn't sound like that Kyler Murray will be back this week, but it's not going to be Josh Dobbs that started. We might get Clayton Tune, the rookie out of Houston. Oh, that's going to be interesting. But they did play a close game for the most part against Baltimore. I think it was closer than I don't think it was nearly as close as the final score indicated. But again, this team is playing hard for Jonathan Gannon, and they found themselves in position to potentially tie up the game at the very least, no matter how unlikely it was. Kind of relied on the onside kick. I mean, it was bonkers that they were just even in this game. But yeah, the Cardinals, man, Kyler Murray potentially coming back in the next few weeks. It's going to be something to watch out for. It's going to be something at the very least. At number 30 on my power rankings are the Chicago Bears. They already announced it's going to be Tyson Bagent starting the next game, so Justin Fields will again be sidelined with the thumb injury. They got annihilated against the Chargers. It wasn't much of a game. We did a watch along, and it sucked. Bagent did take a couple of deep shots. I mean, honestly, Darnell Mooney probably should have had a touchdown that got whistled or blown dead too early. And Bagent, he's not blameless. He had a lot of misfires in this game, but he wasn't helped out necessarily by what we just talked about, the Darnell Mooney call. He wasn't helped out by Velus Jones, wide open deep. He slips and then just fails to catch the football. The defense isn't good. This is a bad team. They are a bad squad. Then at 29, I gotta put the New York Giants. I have to. Daniel Jones, I'm not sure if he is expected to come back, but they lost Tyrod Taylor almost immediately in this game. And it's Tommy DeVito, the former Syracuse/Illinois quarterback, coming into this game. I think he only had 7 pass attempts and only completed 2 passes. They end up having negative 9 passing yards on the day. It's kind of wild that this game went to overtime with the Jets. They went to a run-heavy team almost immediately. Saquon had 32 or 36 carries. It was kind of nuts. But I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, they're playing good football. Dexter Jackson's having a monster season. We already knew Dexter Jackson was kind of that guy. He's that good. But golly, he has been. He dominated this game. So much so that he actually, on a bull rush, hurt Connor McGovern. It was clean, but Connor McGovern had to leave the game because of a knee injury. He's Dexter Lawrence. You are him. All right, who's the next squad we got up here? It's the New England Patriots. They were in this game with the Dolphins. Honestly, they had the lead. They were up 7-0, and they were looking to tie it before halftime, and Mac Jones throws an interception to the returning Jalen Ramsey. As a Dolphins fan, I'm just so happy to see you again, Jalen. I say again, this was literally his debut for the team, but I'm just so happy to see you. Then after that, the Dolphins end up kicking a field goal before half, so they're up 10 going into halftime, and there were points where the Patriots made it close, but eventually the better team ran away with it. They lose Kendrick Bourne for the season in this game, crush and blow. The defense isn't much. I mean, at least they got Trent Brown back, and the offensive line's been playing better. But there's not a lot trending in favor of the Patriots currently right now. There's just not. Okay, right ahead of the Patriots, we're going to stick into this bottom of the league category, and I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. Listen, I said this last week, they are a young team in terms of the offense. The pass catchers are all inexperienced. They're either rookies or second-year players. They have a first-time starter in Jordan Love. The bumps were to be expected. All I can really say is give Aaron Jones the ball. He's your best player on offense. Give him the ball. Get it to him more. Maybe it's he's on a pitch count coming back from the hamstring injury, but it's ridiculous that he's kind of splitting with A.J. Dillon. Dillon hasn't really done much. They did just re-sign Rashawn Gary. That's great. Extended him. The defense is good. They're just kind of wait. Right now, honestly, the coaching's kind of weighing this team down as well. It's going to be interesting what happens at the end of the year with the Packers. But anywho, I got one more team in this category. Why is that a difficult word? And it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Another game that I did a watch along on where we watched the Detroit Lions basically control the whole game. The Raiders had moments, Marcus Peters had this 75-yard interception, the pick six. But offensively, the Raiders did nothing. Devontae Adams, after near the end of the game, man, he's frustrated. He was missed deep a couple of times when he was open, and he's throwing his helmet into the ground. It's yeah, man, I feel bad for you, Adams. You didn't sign up for this. Max Crosby, I was saying Max Crosby's kind of doing this by himself, but guys are stepping up on this defense. For instance, Adam Butler had a really good game for the Raiders, but that's probably as much good as I could really say. It's funny because going into the second half, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Michael Mayer didn't have a reception. Yeah, this is a bottom level team. But let's go ahead to these could be but unlikely category. I'm going to start with the Denver Broncos. Great win over the Chiefs. And what they ultimately did was win the time of possession, made sure the Chiefs offense stayed off the field, and they were aided by 5 turnovers. Despite that, the Chiefs were never out of this game. They won 24-9, but this was a 5-point game for a long period. Let's not act like this was an offensive clinic by the Broncos. It wasn't. The defense played good, and they were aided by a lot of blunders by the Chiefs. This game is and I know Mahomes, he's playing with the flu or something, but I don't know. This is burn the tape. This game never existed. It was a bye. You currently still have your 8-year streak of beating the Broncos. That if I'm the Chiefs, that's exactly what would happen. Next is the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to be competitive, but I don't see them being real contenders to make the playoffs. Gardner Minshew, he's fun and all, but he could only keep this team in the game for so long. It's nice to see the running game just doing so well with Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor. And the offense is fun, but defensively, this team just can be cheeks. Like, I get it. They were injured at the cornerback position, and it showed. The Derek Carr was passing all over these guys. But it wasn't just that, man. They were getting the Saints were creating mismatches with Alvin Kamara. Like, I don't care if you got EJ Speed. He got speed in the name, but I mean, he ain't keeping up with Alvin Kamara, man. Kamara's too slick as a pass catcher. And I don't see the consistent pressure from this squad. This is a Gus Bradley defense. They're not going to blitz a ton. He likes to rely on like loops and stunts and whatnot, and they're just they're not hitting home. So like, just the Colts just don't feel like a good team, and it feels like they're looking to next year. So that's my take on them. We're gonna cover the AFC South. Let's just say that. I got the Tennessee Titans next up here. Will Levis, what a debut. Doesn't mean I'm sold on the squad by any means. It doesn't, but this definitely felt good. The offense looked alive for the first time this season. 4 touchdowns Will Levis threw. That's 2 more than Tannehill has thrown all year. Dude, Duke Hopkins, he looked alive. Like, the defense was just feasting, eating on Desmond Ridder or whatever quarterback they wanted to throw back there for the Falcons. So it feels like, okay, they are trending the right direction. And matter of fact, this team was at home. They were undefeated at home. You might be like, oh, they're 3-1. Okay, that one loss was in the UK because they count that as a home game. And I'm going to cover the Texans here. Listen, the Texans, they've been impressive this season thus far, but they are far from a playoff contender. They are. This is a first-year coach with a rookie at quarterback, with a team that they're overachieving a bit because you look at the depth on the team and it's not like a whole lot of talent. They've dealt with injuries along the offensive line, and yeah, they're getting healthier there, but you gotta realistically look at this team and be like, the expectation can't be the playoffs. I think the expectation should be, okay, we're winning games and we're looking better. Like, the offense didn't really flow too well in this game. I don't think they were really bad, but they weren't that good. The defense is gonna get beaten up at times. Like, okay, you got guys performing well. Jonathan Grenard had a big game. Like, you have Will Anderson there. Like, Cashman's playing good. Honestly, the secondary is pretty solid, but it's like, still, like, I think you got to reel back your expectations. Like, this is a feisty team, but are they playoff contenders? I don't think so. So that's my opinion on it. With that being said, I got the Rams right ahead of them. Tough loss to the Cowboys. Matthew Stafford is day-to-day with a UCL injury in his thumb, but even before the injury, they were long out of this game. This defense isn't good for the Rams. Like, Aaron Donald could only do so much. He could only do so much. I mean, they've had some guys kind of perform, but it's not a good defense. The offensive line was missing Rob Havenstein, and the Cowboys' defensive line ate. They won the trenches. It was just a rough show. And you even had the pick 6 on, I don't know if it was a miscommunication or if it was just even a bad pass from Stafford that Deron Bland took to the house. I think isn't that his second pick 6 of the year? Deron Bland, have yourself a year. But yeah, the Rams, they're not actual playoff contenders. They're more this could be but unlikely category. Oh, and I hate putting this team here. Like, I would love to put them in playoff contender, and I hope one day that I can. One of these weeks I can. The Washington Commanders, they once again play the Eagles to the wire in a tough game. Sam Howell had a great game. He was getting the ball out quick. He was making plays. This is the Sam Howell that everyone wants to see on a consistent basis. But it's just, this team is a roller coaster right now. Like, are we going to get this squad? Or are we going to get the team that got mollywopped by Justin Fields and the Bears. So I don't know, too hard to predict. That's why I got to put him in this could be but unlikely category. Currently sitting at 3-5 as well. And I do have one other team here, and it hurts my heart. I feel like I have to put him here. Hopefully, this doesn't end up to be the end all be all for the Minnesota Vikings. They win this week against the Packers. They lose Kirk Cousins for the rest of the season. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Kirk Cousins has been playing like the best quarterback in the NFC. There, I said it. Did I say he's the best quarterback in the NFC? No, I did not. His play this year, though, has been, I think, the best in the NFC. He has kept this team afloat. He has been prime time Cousins in a good way. He's kept this team in games. Like even their losses, they were all like for the most part 1-score games. And losing him for the year just sucks. Do I believe Jared Hall could step in and keep this thing going? No, they've already lost Justin Jefferson. He's gone for like another 3 weeks. Now you're wondering, okay, does he even return this season? Does he? Jordan Ass is playing good football. The defense continually, they're overachieving it as well, man. Like Brian Flores is scheming his butt off. Like he's got this defense playing good. I will say Mekhi Blackman has looked good. Like he needs more snaps. He has looked good in the few snaps they have given him. But this was, I think, this game he had like this is the most snaps he's had in a game. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Maybe they make a move for quarterback. Maybe. I don't know if they will. We'll see. But man, it sucks. It sucks. I really hope the Vikings end up being actual like contenders. It just sucks. In my playoff contender tier, I gotta put the Jets at the bottom. I do. Do I believe in the Jets? No. Like they almost lost to Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants. Luckily, their defense is so good that they can wait for the offense to have 1 or 2 good drives. Can they do that against the upper echelon of the NFL? I don't think so. But we've seen them do that against like the Chiefs, against like the Bills. I don't think they could do that though for a whole season. But they are currently sitting at 4-3. They are legit playoff contenders. Can they keep it up? I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. Next, I have the Atlanta Falcons, man. I know the final score was 28-23, but it didn't feel that close. Desmond Ridder got benched. Arthur Smith said it wasn't performance related, but I don't know why you would bench him then. Taylor Heineke stepped in and looked much better. That's just the honest truth. And you're going to get more from those playmakers like Kyle Pitts and Drake London because Taylor Heineke's a slinger. And he's like, you know what? I got good players. I'm going to put it up and let them go make a play. So I hope they make the move to Taylor Heineke. Like Desmond Ridder just, it's wild, man. It's like, the beginning of this year wasn't very accurate. He was making turnover-worthy throws. And then he starts putting it together. He's like, okay, man, the passing's coming together for him. And he starts fumbling everywhere. Like, and they lost Grady Jarrett for the whole year. That sucks. An ACL injury. As is tradition with these power rankings, I'm just going to go ahead and rattle off the rest of the NFC South because your guess is as good as mine who wins it. The Bucks, they have looked good in failure. They have looked good when losing. You could make an argument they probably should have won against the Bills, though they had no business being in that game. But that Hail Mary, they should have at least been spotted at the goal line with one more chance because there were multiple pass interferences on that Hail Mary, multiple. But they still got a good defense. Baker Mayfield, honestly, this is the best he's looked probably since his rookie year with Cleveland. So, I feel like they're gonna stay in the fold here. But the Saints, they're coming off the big week. Gotta put them ahead. Here, the offense came alive against that Colts secondary. Rashid Shaheed had 2 monster catches, 1 for a touchdown. Alvin Kamara continues to just be deadly. And this time it wasn't so much just checkdowns. They were actually getting having him go out and run real routes and whatnot. The defense is always fairly solid, though the Colts did put up points. But to be fair, the Colts have put up points on good defenses. Like Gardner Minshew did put up points against the Jags, good defense. Against the Browns, good defense. So I don't think that should have been too surprising. But I got all the NFC South teams here, man. I don't know how to separate these guys. They all kind of feel like the same team, kind of, sort of. And I'm going to have the Chargers. Charger going to Charger, man. They got to win over a team that they should have got to win over, and they did. It was a commanding win, but are we going to see, can the Chargers consistently win games? Or are they just going to shoot themselves in the foot and be a 500 team that just misses the playoffs because the AFC is that stinking good? They have the weapons. The defense needs to step up. Well, they looked good against the Bears. Almost anyone could look good against the Bears unless you're stinking Las Vegas or Washington. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Joey Bosa had a really good game. It's good to see him at least healthy and playing well. And then the final team I have in this playoff contender tier is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin will drag this team to 500. He doesn't care if it's Mitch Trubisky or if it's freaking Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett exited the game with an injury. I can't remember if it was the ribs or the shoulder. Look it up later. But the offense just is meh. They got a good defense there. They're plagued by poor cornerback play here and there. They had a bad miscommunication between Joey Porter and I can't remember who was at safety. Was it Kazi or was it the cat that came in for Mika Fitzpatrick because he got hurt? But there was miscommunication with, they had Travis Etienne playing out wide, and I guess Joey Porter expected help over the top, so he kind of let him by. Joey Porter was playing more of a short area game with the run back out there on the sideline. So, and the safety just took a bad angle and whiffed, touchdown. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, Mike Tomlin, he will drag this team to 500. They will be in contention, but I don't see them as a playoff team right now. My first playoff team is going to be the Cleveland Browns. Close loss to the Seattle Seahawks, and it was kind of their game to win. They just had to convert a third down, and they were unable to do it. As a matter of fact, PJ Walker made it worse, and he threw an interception on like a batted pass by Jamal Adams right into Julian Love's welcoming arms, which led to the go-ahead touchdown by Jackson Smith-Njigba. But the defense is still playing really good football. Sean Watson, I assume, eventually gets in there. The question is, can Sean Watson be good? We'll see. I don't feel like we have an exact answer to that. He hasn't really. He's had like one good game this year, but outside of that, it's kind of been meh. But he's also been struggling through the shoulder injury. I don't know. It's a mystery, but this defense is so good that it's carrying them to close victories. I mean, this team beat the Niners. They almost beat the Seahawks. It's very good defense. Okay, speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, I kind of just like talked about them a little bit. They're the next team here in this tier. I believe that starts my top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they're sitting here at 11 for me. Okay. Well, they're officially the leaders of the NFC West. They will eventually face the 49ers sometime this year, and I expect the 49ers, when we get to them, to be a much better team. They're just kind of going through a slump right now. But good win for the Seahawks. Geno, we've seen the ups, we've seen the downs. Geno's just going to Geno. He's going to sling that ball and keep this team competitive in he's gonna keep this team in the ball game. They did just add Leonard Williams via trade. I feel like they kind of overpaid for him a little bit because I do suspect he's probably a 1-year rental, but they get a little bit better on the interior. So that's kind of huge, but yeah, we'll see. Seahawks, they're sitting at 5-2 though. Real good record. Baltimore Ravens are my team at number 10. Are they good? Are they meh? I don't know. They should have had no problem with this Arizona team. They just mollywopped a very good team in the Detroit Lions a week prior. Nobody knows. Lamar holding on to the ball too long. This time it came to his detriment as guys for Arizona like BJ Ojolari has been playing well. He reaped the benefit of stinking Lamar holding on the ball too long. You had Dante Stills had like 2 sacks in this game. It's just frustrating. But the defense is solid. Defense is good, especially when they have Odafe Owe in there. He's kind of provided a little bit of spark. Justin Matabuki is playing really good in a contract year. Cardinals, again, they kind of just like came storming back at the end of this game. I feel like maybe the Ravens took the pedal or the foot off the pedal a little too much. So that's kind of why I got to have them here. Man, I would love, like, if I knew that we were going to see this, like, at least something close to what we saw with them against Detroit, they would be in that Super Bowl contender tier because they are that good. Next is the Buffalo Bills. Are they back? I don't know. They haven't had an impressive win since beating the Dolphins. Fins up, baby. Fins up. They haven't. They really haven't. They've struggled offensively. It's wild. They'll move the football, but they won't get points from it. They'll get to like midfield and be like, oh, we're gonna just punt the football because we got a good punter. And it's like, okay. Or we'll kick a field goal, and then Tyler Bass either hits it or misses it. He has missed some this season. Defensively, they're so banged up. I couldn't put them in that Super Bowl contender tier. Like now looking back, it's like, man, they let the Bucs get back in this game. I still have faith in this Buffalo team to figure it out, but I don't know if I could see them as an actual Super Bowl contender as of right now. Which my final team in this playoff tier is the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, they should be Super Bowl contenders. But the 2 games that they lost this year, not the great games. No. They were not so good. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Be like, whoa, look, the Cardinals playing everyone close. You lost to them. And then you just got dominated by the Niners. Those were really bad losses. I mean, if they're coming out playing like they did against the Rams every week, then sure, dude. The offense is humming. They're rolling. They got a great defense. I don't know, man. Yeah, they probably should be Super Bowl contenders. But I'm going to keep them here at the top of the playoff team tier. Do they have the Eagles yet? When do they have to face the Eagles? Find this out real quick. Who's next on the schedule for the Dallas Cowboys? It's in fact the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, you go beat the Eagles. Maybe even if you just play them close, I'll bump you up. Let's go ahead to the Super Bowl tier. That's right. I'm putting the Detroit Lions as Super Bowl contenders. Yeah, they had a bad game against the Baltimore Ravens, but they haven't had many bad games this season. Their only other loss came, I believe, the Seahawks and the Lions went to OT in that game. I know at the very least it came to the wire. I don't know. We feel so far removed from the beginning of the year, but this is a team that, hey, once they can control the game, they'll run the ball down your throat, and they're doing it without David Montgomery. They're like, hey, Gibbs, let's unleash the Kraken in. He is playing good football. The defense is playing good football. Liam McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson are coming alive. They blitzed a lot against the Raiders, trying to get some extra pressure. I think that's something they probably were like, yeah, we probably could have done this better against the Ravens. A bit more effective. They did that, and they totally just demolished that Raiders offense, which Ain't that hard to do, but they also have one of the best run defenses in the league. Right in front of the Lions is the San Francisco 49ers. I get it. They're on a slump right now. They've lost 3 straight. Honestly, against a very good Bengals defense, I thought Brock Purdy, outside of a few horrendous throws, I thought he looked reasonably good. But those bad throws were really bad throws. And just some people were going to be like, well, I mean, he was just out of concussion protocol. He probably should have never played the game. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't really see any. When I went back and watched it, I was like, I don't really. These throws aren't because he's still concussed. These are just poor throws. They are missing a Debo. They didn't have Trent Williams. I would not hit the panic alarm offensively. But defensively, this team has not played well in the last few weeks. They just haven't. PJ Walker. Then Kirk Cousins lit them up. Then Joey Burrow. Now, Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow, 2 very, very good quarterbacks. So, yeah, okay. They got humming, and what could he do? But, like, defense has looked very vulnerable. Their only means of pressure in this game against the Bengals was Nick Bosa. Just totally mollywopping, sneaking Orlando Brown. But it is what it is. So I had to knock them down a couple of spots. I do bet that they're going to figure it out, though, eventually. This is still a very good team. And actually, the team 1 spot ahead of them will be the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals might be back. I don't think Joe Burrow is completely healthy, but he's playing very good, and he's moving like he's healthy. Still think there's probably, like, that calf injury is just not going to go away. But it will get better in the next few weeks, and he's already looking good. The offense looked great. The defense is playing phenomenal. Coach Lou, one of the best defensive coordinators, I think, in the NFL. They are back to being Super Bowl contenders. And right ahead of them is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Whoa, you're up here. There we go, Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, listen, I mean, he played a really good game if you take away his interception in the red zone into triple coverage. But yeah, no, the offensive, I thought, played solid, and this defense is playing really good right now. They truly, truly are. Josh Allen is having a great season, a potential career year. Jags, pay the man. Pay him. Darius Williams is also having a really good year as well. Next up is the Miami Dolphins. I feel a little guilty putting them this high because, like, honestly, the best teams they've played this season being the Bills and the Eagles. Bills, they lost handedly, and then the Eagles, that was a game for most of it. And I know a lot of things didn't break our way, but the Eagles did outplay us. I don't want anyone to think, oh, no, refs screwed us in that game. No, I think the Eagles ultimately did outplay us. We got destroyed in the trenches. And the thing is, more trench injuries, man. Robert Hunt going down. Robert Hunt's having a really good year. But, hey, as long as we got Tyreek, we got Waddle, that offense, so hard to stop. So hard to stop. The defense has come together. Jalen Ramsey has made his debut coming back from injury. And, of course, he gets a pick in his debut for the Dolphins. I love it. But you're going to have parts of this Dolphins team getting healthier. Taron Armstead's eventually going to return. Xavier Howard's eventually going to return. This team's going to get healthier as the year, just in the next few weeks. So watch out, man. Watch out. I think I'm hoping, man. I'm a Dolphins fan. I try not to be a mark about it. Like, I could honestly see the Dolphins, like, right anywhere among these. I mean, these are pretty close rankings. We're talking about Super Bowl contenders. We really have them ranked any which way you want, I guess. And then number 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs. They will fall off after a burn the tape. We had a bye. This week never existed type of game. You had the Mahomes flu game, 5 turnovers. Mahomes had a fumble and a interception. You had the muffed punt by Mecole Hardman. You had MVS fumble the football. You had Sky Moore drop a pass that should have been a touchdown. Like, just everything that could go wrong went wrong. in this game. The defense still played spectacular. The defense, that Chiefs defense is legit. I expect them to be better going forward. Now that they don't even have to face the Broncos anymore. Apparently, Broncos are just maybe bad luck for him. Mahomes, though, I will say, is not playing like the normal Mahomes. Like he's feels like his touch passes. Maybe it's more his anticipation. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the touch, but I feel like he's been late on a lot of those touch throws. So, I don't know. I expect it to get better. It is Patrick Mahomes. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, they're up here. They're number one. Though it feels like, I don't know, this feels like a close year in the NFL, man. I feel like anyone could beat anybody. It's kind of what it is. I mean, the Eagles had two close games against the Commanders. But yeah, no, the offense is running, it's humming. I am a little worried about the secondary. Sam Howell did kind of eat, but it's fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. They get so much pressure between Jalen Carter and Joshua Sweat, who's having a huge year. Tom Reddick's still there. So, like, I'm sure the Eagles are going to be fine moving forward. They will get, ironically, the team right below them, the Cowboys, this week. So that'll be a good measuring stick to see what is the distance between them and the other top echelon NFC teams. But that's it for the video. That's my power rankings. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm sure you're going to think I'm wrong about something somewhere, and that's fine. To each their own. But tell me why. Tell me why. Don't just be like, oh, this sucks. This team's way too high. Tell me why. Tell me why. Let's have that nice football discourse. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.